Hello and welcome. In our previous video, we created the physical standby database by using the rman command. In this video, we will complete the post standby database creation tasks like verifying the standby database, starting the media recovery process, verifying the log shipping, and the apply status on the standby database. So let's go ahead and verify the standby database. As the environment is not yet been set, so every time we see command not found, so now we will set the environment. So we can use the or inv hereafter to set the environment. Okay, now we don't have any issue. Sorry. Select instance name status from v dollar. Instance. Now my instance name is Boston and the status is mounted. We have to remember one thing here, that the physical standby should always be in the mounted state, and the name of physical standby instance is Boston. Select name db unique name, one mode and database role. So the db unique name is Boston in our physical standby database, where our database name or the DB name remains MyDB, and because this is a physical standby database row, so now the open mode is shown as mounted, because physical standby should always be in the mounted state. So we'll check the log mode. So physical standby database is running in the archive log mode. So let's see the archive log list. So now we can confirm here that the archiving is enabled and the archive destination is DBS and ARC. So later we can modify this archive destination to our destination. So let's verify if the MRP process is running or not. So the media recovery process is not running, so we need to start the media recovery process. So before we start the media recovery process, let's go and observe our alert log files, how exactly the, the processes are running and how exactly this log transportation, archive log transportation is happening. So we can monitor from both the primary alert log and the second standby alert log. So only I have opened a separate terminal for the primary and for the standby, and here we have to open the alert log files, and alert log file resides in the diag and trace. DBMS tail minus f alert SID, that is your IDB log. DBMS, then Boston trace, tail minus f alert Boston.log. So let's start the media recovery process from the standby database. All the database recover manage standby database. So this command is good enough to start the MRP or the media recovery process, but if we execute this particular statement, then this MRP process will run in the foreground. Once we exit from this terminal, so we'll lose the MRP process. So in order to make the MRP process to run in the background, we have to specify disconnect from session. So this will help us to run the MRP process in the background. Now we can see here that the MRP process has started in the background. So after issuing alter database recover manage standby database disconnect from the session, so attempt to start the background manage standby recovery process, and the MRP process started. The process name is MRP0. So now we can see that the media recovery has already been started, means now the physical standby is receiving the archive logs from the primary. So it has already received the archive log sequence 10. It is waiting for the log sequence 11. So let's go and verify from the primary. So I am in the primary terminal. Archive log list. So the oldest online log sequence is 10. The next sequence is going to be 12, means 11. So already we have the archive log sequence of 11. Now let's go and check in our standby database. Now we can see here the current log sequence 12, and before that, because the media recovery process happened for the first time, so now we can see the log sequence values at 0. So now it is waiting for the log sequence called 12. So let's perform a log switch from the primary. So now it should change the number from 12 to 13. Okay, so 11 is already applied. Okay, next log sequence to archive is 13. So let's verify from our physical standby database. Yes, oldest is 11. Now next log sequence to archive is 0, so current log sequence is 13, means 12 is already received. Let's see here in the alert log. We can see now media recovery waiting for thread 1 sequence 11. So sequence 11 is in transit. Now let's verify from this primary. log writer is responsible for transporting the archive logs or pushing the archive logs from primary to the standby. Let's perform a couple of log switch. No, let's verify. 13 and 15. Here it is 13 and 15, so looks quite good. Sequence 14 is only archive log entry 3 added for thread 1 sequence 14. So RFS service is receiving all these archive redo logs from the primary and it is writing to the standby redo logs. Okay, now go to the standby terminal. Now we'll verify the log zipping and the apply status on the standby. We'll verify the recovery mode. Select recovery mode from $v archive disk status. Okay. Select the archive thread hash and archive sequence hash. Archive thread hash, archive sequence hash, applied thread hash, applied sequence hash. applied sequence 10, whereas the archive log sequence is 14. So looks like there is a gap. Select thread number, sequence number, apply from video archive log. Okay, the sequence number 14 is not yet been applied, so we didn't miss any of the archive log apply. Let's check which processes are responsible for transporting and applying. Okay, register created thread number, sequence number, first change, Now perform a log switch and verify the archive log list. Okay, and verify the same in the standby. So in the primary now the 15 is created. Looks like there is something wrong with the standby redo log file. Now the archives would not be returned to the standby redo logs. Okay, so let's go and verify. Data Boston. So you can see all the data files, the control file, the online redo log files, and the standby redo logs that we created in the primary. So everything is available in our physical standby database. So whenever we perform the log switch, we can see all those informations from the primary alert log file. So open the log. So physical standby has already received, is receiving, there is no doubt it is receiving all the archive log files and it is trying to apply the standby. When we try to open the standby database in the read only mode, we can find some more information. We'll see this one in the next video. Thank you.